I'm wearing a blue shirt and a pair of black shirts and blue things today. Just like someone who used to sell iPhone did. But I'm not going to sell you iPhones today. See, I've also got Taiwanese brand HTC here. And the most dominant cell phone brand, Samsung here. So, which one do you think I use the most frequently?
iPhone.
iPhone? Well, actually, it's too sad. I'm a poor guy, so none of them are mine. This is my smartphone. So this is a smartphone, and this is my stupid phone. And today, I'd like to share with you the potential hazards of using smartphones. And I'd like to start with this slide. Like, it's what happens to you while you're looking at your smartphone. So there are two main focus on this slide. The first one, looking at your smartphone. And the second one, life. So every day, I spend about 2 hours commuting between home and school. And because of the long time I spend on public transportation, I have some peculiar hobbies in order to kill time. And one of them is observing people. And one day, while I was on the MRT, I found out that almost 40% of people are searching on their Facebook with their smartphones. Well, you may say, Joey, that's not a big problem, right? Only 40% of them. But what I didn't tell you was, yes, true. 40% of them were on Facebook. And another 40% were playing Tower of Saviors, 神魔之塔, or Candy Crush, which means 压岁糖果 in Chinese. And another 10% are watching soap operas, such as Lan Ling Wang, on those small little screens. So it left only 10% of people not using smartphones. So what exactly are the potential hazards of using smartphones? Well, first, looking at your smartphone itself is the potential hazard. Since we're very little, our parents often told us, don't look too long into a screen, or else your eyes may get blind. But recently, there are some new potential hazards found by scientists. That is, the blue light emitted from smartphone screens. So here are some statistics. For a traditional CRT screen, it emits only 20% of blue light. LED screens, 64%. Smartphone screens, 95%. So smartphone top it off. And remember when we were elementary school students, teacher always told us not to point the laser light into somebody else's eye. And blue light, as same as laser light, has high energy. So some researches show that overexposure to blue light may cause the early onset of cataract, 白内障, or macular degeneration, 黄斑部病变. So that's why we can see more and more cases of eye damage in younger population nowadays on the news. The main reason might well be the overuse of cell phone. Okay, let's move on into the second aspect. That is life. So smartphone also changes how we connect with others. It may seem that we get closer because we can use like Facebook and Line to reach anyone, anywhere, at any time. But actually, the connection between people becomes weaker because smartphone also changes how we communicate with each other. 70% of communication comes from non-verbal language. That means our eye contact, our body language, and the vocal variety. So when we are using smartphones to talk to somebody else, sometimes it may be very hard to know what he or she actually wants to convey to us through those exquisitely edited words and the emotion icons like the XDs. So it is impossible to truly know somebody unless talking to them face to face. Also, we let things and people slip through around us in life while indulging ourselves in sliding smartphones. For example, parents tend to neglect their children while working on smartphones. Friends use smartphones separately while gathering together. And also, dates sometimes are endangered or ruined by smartphones. We try to squeeze and seize every possible time to use our smartphones because we're afraid that we're wasting our time. But meanwhile, we might be missing out on our lives. So, wait a minute. We kept ourselves to these cozy small screens, and we kind of neglect the surrounding world, our family, our friends, and sometimes even ourselves. So we spent less time on self-reflection, contemplation, and future planning because we're all using our smartphones. So when people turn to smartphones for comfort instead of turning to other people, we're actually alone together. So you might be a little confused and struggle now. Joey, what do I do now after knowing so many potential hazards of smartphones? Okay, don't worry. I have a suggestion. Bess, you look a little worried, right? So you can just hand me your smartphone, and I'll kindly offer my stupid phone. See? Problem solved. It's very easy. In another case, if you still want to keep your smartphone, just remember that smartphone can sometimes be a two-sided blade. After all, life is what happens to you while you're looking at your smartphone. So instead of letting it control our lives and change our lifestyle, we should have control over that. Be the owner of your smartphone and be the owner of your life. 天明